Hello everyone, this is Rahul. Today in this video I will be covering the digital instrument cluster for the 2022 Porsche Taycan. So as you can see in front of me, it's a beautiful single line display. It's about 16.8 inches long and very nice display, very clean from Porsche. And I will be discussing the different customizations you can make to this display. So let me start with the toggle switch which we have on the steering here. So what you can see is this button on the steering. If I press it, the yellow ring moves between the different tubes on the screen. So let's start with the center one. So there's a button given here, the scroll button. So if you tap on that, it shows it's a power meter. You can turn it on or turn it off. So now if you see it's on, you might see the recuperation and power mentioned below my speed. Now when we are in the drive mode, what it does is when you're driving the car, it'll show you how much the car is recuperating or how much the power is being used. Now, if I again press this button and I uncheck this power meter and go back, you might see there's no power or recuperation showing on the meter. So in this case, the car will just show you the speed on the cluster. So moving back to the menu, so let's turn this one on. And now when I'm on this center tube and I'm scrolling through my scroll button on the right on the steering, I have different options. The first one I showed you is the power. The next we have the map. So tapping on the map, it will show you where you are. It will show the map on the center of the screen. And again, scrolling, it will take you to the other options. We have like extended map. Tapping on the extended map, so it shows the whole map view on the full screen of your digital instrument cluster. It's a very nice view. You won't have to look on the other screen in the center screen of your car because you have everything available in front of you. Going back, we can scroll down the reduced view. It takes off everything from the screen. All the tubes are gone. Just shows you your speed in the center, how much range you have left, what mode you are in. Like I'm in normal mode right now. What is the drive mode? I am in parking currently. What's my driving mode? It's sport, as you can see on the right side. On the left, you can see the miles driven on the car. My recuperation is on, so that's the recuperation sign. Let me point it out. So that's the recuperation sign. And then this is for the lane change assist, whether it's on or off. So for me, it's on here. So my mirrors, the outside mirrors, they'll blink if there's a car in my blind spot. So moving back to the main screen, let's scroll and see what else we got here. So I'll take this back to the power meter. That's how I can see all my tubes in the digital instrument cluster. Now pressing this button again, you'll see this yellow ring moving from one tube to the other. So coming back to the right side, currently I've set it up to show me the date, what's my battery temperature, what is the battery percentage, and what is the volt on the battery. So tapping this one or scrolling on this, so this is the information menu currently I'm at. What I can also do is try to customize this menu. So I'll have to, for that, go back to my center screen where I see my instrument cluster being selected. So what I'll do is I'll start from the main. So here I'm on the main screen. I'll scroll down to the settings. And then what I'll do is I'll go to my displays. and then you see the instrument cluster display here. Tapping that, we see it gives you several options. How you can customize the right side of the tube, or even the whole instrument cluster through this option. So you might see like the configure display scope. So what it does is it gives me the options which I want to show in my right tube. So coming back here, you might see that I have selected G-force, map, navigation, trip, sport chrono on my center screen. So if I'm just scrolling through this, so these are all the options shown here. So I have my G-force option, which is on my left screen here. There you go. And then I have my map option selected on the center display. So if I come back here on my right tube, or in the center tube, I can see the map option. So whatever options you can see on each of these tubes are actually configured here in the center display. So you can select these options. I'll have to go back to my settings. So we can select these options from the configure display scope and then see what we want to have in our digital instrument cluster. Going back to this, if I go to customized view, I see my line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. So these lines are given for what I see on the right tube. So I have selected my line 1 as date and line 2 as current charge level. So as you can see, it's showing me the date, current charge level, battery temperature, and the system voltage. So here it is. So it's showing me the date, current charge level, battery temperature, and the system voltage. So it's pretty nice. You can customize each and every line here. So for an example, I can choose it to be an empty line. I can select my current charge level, battery temperature, system voltage, and GPS altitude. And you can also scroll down to see what are the other options. So it's so much customization I haven't seen in any other car till now. It's beautiful. So going back to my instrument cluster settings, you can also go to the brightness, select the brightness for my center screen. So this is the minimum brightness. I'm at -5 right now. I can increase the brightness for my instrument cluster, and as you can see, it goes brighter. So you can go up to 5 to -5. So I selected it at 3. Let's leave it there. Going to the personal speed limits, you can select what speed limit you want the car to restrict you while you're driving. I haven't selected anything there. Traffic sign recognition is another setting where you can ask the car to alert you when you're exceeding a certain speed limit, whatever you have set there. And this is the speed. In case you exceed the speed limit, there's still some amount of deviation you can set. So this can be from 0 to 5 miles per hour. So coming back to this menu, then I think that's all for the instrument cluster. From this screen, what you can do, coming back to this screen, as I said, when we go back to our right tube, here we had the information. We can also choose media, and it'll show you the media on your right tube. Again, scrolling up, it shows you the drive modes. So right now I'm at normal. I have the sport chrono package, so either I can choose these modes from this screen, or maybe going back here, I can also select this button of drive mode to shift from one mode to the other. So talking about this, since let's come back to the normal mode and show you something, how the chassis height of the car changes. So since I'm at normal mode right now, my car chassis height would be at regular. So let me show you that here. So it says your drive mode is normal, the chassis is at sport, and that's because I selected it too from one of the buttons. So let's see what's in the drive mode. So once I tap on this drive mode, it shows me what modes the car has. It has the normal, sport, sport plus, individual and range. Since I have the sport chrono package, as you can see with that clock and this wheel here, so I have the sport chrono package, so that's why I get the sport plus option there, and I can just scroll this little wheel and move from one mode to the other. You might see as I'm moving from one mode, from sport to sport plus, in this case there's a blinking car being shown there. So what it's saying is that the car is going at the down level, and now once it stops blinking, the chassis is at the lowest height. So that we can also check in our center panel, where we see that the drive mode is sport plus, the chassis is also at sport plus, chassis height is at the lowest level. So if I tap on my chassis height, as you can see from the 4 levels, it's at the lowest level right now. And coming back to this, what I see that the recuperation is on, electric sport sound is on. You might not hear any sound because I'm at park mode right now. Once we put the car on drive, we start hearing the sport sound as well. Coming back to the center cluster, what we also have the individual mode, where you can select each of the options. So like for me, I have selected that if I'm at individual mode, I want the car to be at sport plus, chassis should be sport plus as well, chassis height should be lowered, and recuperation sport sound should be on. So it's in the individual mode, you can select all the options. You can customize how you want the car to drive for you. So it's a great option. And now what the range mode does is it tries to drive the car at its maximum efficiency. So there can be scenarios when you are low on charge level, and maybe you don't have time to stop on the way, or there are no charging points on your way. So then what you can do is you can turn the car on the range mode, and the car will will try to be as efficient as it can be. And then like you can see that I have selected my maximum speed to be 60 miles per hour. We can change that as well. So let's go to the center screen, and as you can see, I'm in the drive mode. So I tap on these 3 dots on the side, and then it gives me an option that I can configure my range drive mode. So once I tap that, while in the range mode, we get 2 options. One is the eco mode, the second is the eco plus mode. In the eco mode, your AC and the heater would be working fine, but in the eco plus mode, they'll be very, very efficient, and they might not be, it might not be very comfortable if you're driving in the hot weather. So it's recommended you can keep it at eco mode, and the car still tries to be efficient to save your battery. Now what we can also do is in the range mode, we can also select our maximum speed, like how much speed do we want the car to be in while you are driving in the range mode. So for myself, I've selected 60 miles per hour, but I can choose how much I want the car to drive while I'm in the range mode. So it is limiting me to at 60, so that I'm not consuming a lot of my battery and when I have less charge level. Coming back to the center cluster, let's see what other options we have for the right tube. So I have the sport chrono package in the car. So if I tap on that, we can record the lap time through this. Going back, it also shows me the trip meter. So this will show me the information that since 7:11 p.m. today evening, how long I've been driving, what is my average speed, how much of the consumption it is in kilowatt hour per 100 miles, and how much distance I have covered. Now going to the top, the last option here is the navigation. So once we are driving, it will show us the small little icons here telling us to if you're driving straight or you need to take a left or a right. It shows through those arrows there on the right side. Now going back, I like this menu to be on the information, where I can see my battery details and the system voltage. Now on the left tube, where I'm seeing the tire pressure currently for my front and rear tires, I can scroll here. I can also see the G force across, like the gravitational force, how much it is. And then we also have the traffic signs. It also shows you what is the speed limit based on your location. And it also shows you, I think, your speed, because you can see the mph written at the left side. It will show you the speed once you're driving. Right now I'm stationary, so it's not showing me any speed here. I can also go and check my assistance systems. So this will also show you your speedometer and help you while you're driving the car. On the left side, we have the temperature. It's the outside temperature being shown here. Now let's walk to this side of the steering wheel. You have your volume button here. So this is for the scroll button, is for the volume. So tapping this voice button, it will pop up the Hey Porsche menu for you in the car, and it shows up in the center display. You can ask the car to do certain things like adjusting the temperature or showing you the restaurants nearby. And you can also activate it by just saying Hey Porsche. So you can see that how it pops up on the center screen. So we'll just cross it out. So now coming back here, this is the shortcut button, the diamond. So I have set it up to my electric sport sound, and this is for the recuperation. So right now, like when I press it, it takes me to, it shows on the cluster that the recuperation mode is on. If I press it again, it goes off. If you press it for long, you might see that there's a small A around the recuperation. That's for the auto. That's on the auto mode. So what the car does is, like, if, say for example, you are coasting, it'll keep coasting, but once it sees a car in front of you, it'll try to slow down and drive like it's in the recuperation mode. So this is how, like, the car adjusts based on if there's any object, any vehicle in front of you or not. So I usually try to keep it at the recuperation mode. It's on. It gives you a normal car feeling. It feels like you're driving a normal gas car, unlike any other electric cars which have the recuperation off, and they are coasting. So I like driving it like a to get that feel of driving a normal car. This is for the cruise control. So when I press this button, what it does is it pops up this menu for cruise control. It's on. Then it's also showing me the lane keep assist. That's also on, so it just stays there for a few seconds. And pressing it again. Now there's also an option for limiter, where you can limit your speed. So for example, I go here and I tap on that. It has limited my speed to 60. That also we can change, tapping it back again. Now it takes off the cruise control because I'm on limiter. So I select my cruise control back, and what this thing does is, so like say you are selected maybe 60 miles per hour as your cruise speed. If you move it forward, it will increase your speed. Moving it back, it will decrease your speed. And then say you have turned off the cruise control by maybe pressing the brake pedal. So what you can do is you can just tap it above. It will bring back your cruise control. Tap it down to just cancel out of it. And then there's a button here for the mode. So if I press the mode, I think this menu again pops up. Now, as you can see, like in the center, there is a lane keep assist, and then it's a limiter icon where it says recuperation just right here. This is coming from the cruise control. So if I have to turn it off, what I just need to do is go back here, press this button on the left side, and once I press it, you might see that just goes away. So now the cruise control is off. On this side, we have the lever for the wipers. So this is for adjusting different speeds. One is just doing it one time, you can off, and then you have these three modes, low, high, and then this one, this button which you can move up and down, is for setting the intensity of how you want the wiper to work. Rest, this is how the steering wheel looks like. This is coming from the Sport Chrono package, this drive mode. So just by scrolling we can choose the different drive modes in the car. This display looks great whether you're driving the car in the day or it's where you see it in the night. It's a very long 16.8 inch display. Haven't seen so many customizations for any other car for their digital instrument clusters. So we have the buttons on the left side for the lights. You can set it at auto, high beam, low beam, and this is the button for your rear fog lights. On the right side, we have the buttons. This is a shortcut button. I have set it up to activate my park assist. This is for the chassis height. This is for setting the chassis at sport or normal or sport plus. And this button is for PSM, that's the Porsche stability management. So as you can see, tapping it, it turns it on, and turned it off, and then if I hold it again, it says it's turned on. So that's for stabilizing the car. A lot of customizations you can do on this screen. It's a very nice screen. Again, haven't seen this much of a customizable screen in any other car, and the layout, how it shows, is beautiful. It looks great while you're driving in the day, while you're driving in the night, and it's a beautiful experience to have this car. So that's all for this video. I hope you find it informative. Thank you so much. Take care.